Um,
Muting.
Thanks everybody for joining. We wanted to both share our new rebranding effort with the website, and then also just kind of go over the navigation of the website and cover some of the things that were brought up in the members meeting last February, asking how to do certain things. So what we're going to do, going to ask you to mute yourselves and put questions in the chat box, please. I'll start by doing more of a high level overview, and then Larry G will cover some of the profile settings and protection of your information on the website. So this is your website. It's for you guys. We want to make it easy to use and meet your needs. So please let us know if you have any ideas for updates or improvements that we can do. Some of this stuff we'll go through, and you may or may not be able to remember all the different steps, but we'll have some teaching aids available after, and we're recording this now so that it'll be available on our YouTube channel, and you can kind of go back and reference it if you like. So we'll try to keep this not too long, hopefully less than an hour, and hopefully it's useful to you. We will also just briefly, this is kind of a new thing we're starting, is a Wednesday meeting once a month. It's going forward. It's going to be on the second Wednesday of each month, and there are going to be different topics covered. So we're going to cover topics like how to buy used equipment and tinnitus and the future of hi-fi and things like that. So we'll be putting those things in the events calendar so you guys can sign up for them. All right. So you'll see the new logo has been added. The main page has been updated. So it has a different look and feel to it. Recent articles are here that are easily selectable. And then events here are also easily found on the landing page, on the home page, including past event write-ups. We've removed the happy hour.
I'm wondering if you could
events
share your
from
screen with us.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Brad.
I don't see what you're looking at. So would it make sense for you to share your screen and point at what you're talking about?
Brad, he is sharing his screen.
I am, sir.
So, got it. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay. We had the happy hour events on the calendar, and they were kind of filled up the calendar every Friday night. So now we've removed that, and you just click on this image, and it'll give you the link to the happy hour. We'll still be sending out the email notices. There's membership benefits. Recent blog posts are listed here as well. Resources, forums, and then we have a new footer as well that I think looks really nice. So this is the home page, which we're looking at. Most all of these have a drop-down menu underneath them. So you hover over the topic and go down and click on whatever you want to look at. So history, mission and vision is a page you can read. I think most everybody knows we transitioned not too long ago from a club, which is a 501c7, to a public good nonprofit, which is a 501c3. We have the mission and vision statements here. We have goals and initiatives that you can review at your leisure. Next on there is the leadership team. So here is, we currently have 8 members, board members. We have, you can link to our bios if you like. We will probably be adding another board member in the next month or so. So it's great. A couple of the new ones are Jeff Kalina, who's doing a great job helping with marketing, and Jim Bird, director of events, has been lining up some great events, which you'll be seeing in the very near future. The advisory board, these are folks from industry that have offered to help provide guidance and input for our club. So that's a good thing. So events looks very, very similar to what it looked like before, the drop down upcoming events. Right now, we just have tonight's event listed, but we'll get more added in the next few days to a week. There'll be a lot coming up. Here's also a link to the happy hour to get the link for that. Past event write-ups. You've seen a lot of the in-person events. We have write-ups for a lot of the most all of the Zoom events we have on our YouTube channel. So news is, this has been newly recategorized, I guess, but this used to be what was called Muse articles. So it has not only the different sections in the Muse, but a Muse online edition. And this right now, we're working with Club Express. So right here where it says online edition, you should be able to see the most recent Muse publication, but it's not linking up right now, but we're in the process of getting that fixed. Over here is a monthly newsletter archive, so you can look up other newsletters. And then down at the bottom, Larry will talk about this a little more, but down at the bottom is articles. So this is pretty much every article that's been published on our website. There are hundreds and hundreds of them. The cool thing about this section, it's a little hard to see, but right under news and articles is a little magnifying glass. So you can click on that magnifying glass and search for whatever you want to search for. So you can put in something like turntables or Macintosh or SME, and any articles that have been published, it will pull them up. So this is a good search feature that's in the website. Moving along to communities. So this used to be under members, but now we're calling it community. So it has benefits and resources. So this is a newly combined page. This has a lot of good stuff. The first row is member discounts. So Iconoclast, if you want some nice cables, they'll give us a 15% discount. We're looking at other retailers for that will provide member discounts. This is also where we have equipment repair and services listed. So if you have some gear that you're looking to get repaired, this is some references here. And let me know if you are aware of any other ones. We're happy to add additional folks that can be recommended. The lending libraries here as well. And then down at the bottom, there's a bunch of links that have a lot of interesting stuff. That anything hi-fi you want to find, I think will be here. Vinyl Engine, probably some of you guys are familiar with, that has all kinds of good info on alignment and setting up arms, turntable arms. This show calendar shows hi-fi shows all around the world. People know John Darko, online hearing tests. So a lot of good info here.
Yeah, Larry, this is Larry G. I do have a request. I mean, if anybody on the call is familiar with other links that they would like to have included, just go ahead and send them to us and we can add them to the list.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. So that's benefits and resources. Membership directory. This is something that people, one of the reasons people join is to be able to connect with other audiophiles. This provides a multitude of ways of finding and connecting with different folks. So you can search by last name. So one thing that's a little tricky about this, if you copy and paste, sometimes you end up with a space after the last letter. You need to make sure there's no space there or the search may not work. So put in the last name, hit search. It'll give my information here. It'll give my location, contact info. Other ways to search is by interest. So when you signed up as a member, you selected different interests. So if you want to find people that are into reel-to-reel, you can hit search and it lists everybody that added that as an interest in their profile. You can do metro area. We're building this out a little more. You can do city. You can do country, zip code if you want people around you that are close by. So let's see if I can remember. Walnut Creek was 94597. So if we hit search, oh, I need a country. All right. Huh.
All right, that's okay. I'll go through this in a little while.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so there are a lot of ways you can connect with folks. Forums is another way. Larry's going to talk a little bit more after I've got done going through this, but he's going to talk a little bit about sharing personal information on forums. Most of these forums are public, so one of the cool forums is member systems. So if you want to see what people have, I just posted my stuff so you can see what I have, and there are there were pictures. Huh. Anyway, so there are forums, blogs. Blogs are something that
So on the
is,
previous page, there were attachments associated with your name, Larry.
was there, I just missed them.
See in the blue, there's a selection.
Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. There's my little room. Okay. Thank you. So blogs are good, kind of good for generating discussion. So if there's something that people want to have a little discussion back and forth, and what's on your mind, then like Fred's blog is very good. He talks about these ferrites and how they work. There are a bunch of comments here you can read and add to that. So this is an opportunity to connect as well. We have a couple committees right now. We have Collection Heroes and Education Initiative. Collection Heroes. So this is an initiative that Leslie started to help get gear, hopefully keep gear out of the landfill, either repair or resell. So it's a great thing. Education Initiative is a part of our goals and mission to provide educational opportunities for our membership and the public. So there will be we've had a lot of good classes in the last couple of years, and there will be more coming up. Here's the interests that you can search by. Kind of cool. If you look at vinyl, there are 145 members in the vinyl interests, and you can view them. And you can also search for different folks, and you can search by, so if you want to find people that like vinyl near your city, you can search by city. So
Larry, I'm sorry to bother you. That's under the interest center, or which section?
under community interests,
I don't see that the same on my screen. I'm logged in. Oh, I see the problem.
Yeah, you need to be logged in as a member.
That's the thing is that in fact, I've actually talked to a couple members who've had problems because either they weren't logged in or they would misspell a name when they were doing searches. So spelling really does matter.
yep,
Sorry to interrupt.
that's okay. There are photo albums that you can build, you can add to the system if you want to share. Here's Larry G's, some of the speakers he's owned over the years. You can check that out. He had some really cool speakers. You can look at Leslie's garage remodel. You can look at DIY stuff. So, and you can look at holiday party pictures.
Yeah, so the ability to create photo albums is available to all members. Anybody can create their own photo albums and add whatever photos they want.
In memoriam just lists folks that have passed on both in industry and in the club. And then Larry just added this today, direct messaging. So if you want to connect with somebody directly, privately, you can do so. So you just create a message and you ping them and invite them, and then you can exchange messages.
Larry, quick question on that. If you ping someone, will the system in any way let you know you've had a response, or do you have to go back on your own and check?
I think you need to log back in and check. But you will see under your profile, I believe, if there are any messages or notifications. So all you have to do is look at the drop down under your profile. All right. Education initiative. So this is just a an overview of what it is and what we're doing. So and right now Ori and Jim are the primary leads on that. So and then Rogers Corner has a lot of interesting technical info. We've been putting these in the Muse, but they're also these articles can be found here. So cone speakers, electrostatic speakers, amplifiers, preamps. So it's a lot of good stuff. FAQs you can find. Hopefully, if you have general questions, they can be answered here. These are drop downs that you click on. So the description of the Audiophile Foundation, members, etc. And down at the bottom, if you want to look at what our bylaws are, you can click on this link and that'll take you to a PDF document of our bylaws. Donations, we are 501c3, so we can take cash donations or non-cash donations. So don't hesitate to reach out. And you can either use this contact us button and send us an email, and our contact information is here. A good general way to get directly to us is the contact@audiophilefoundation.org email. That'll go to several folks on the board and we'll get right back to you. All right. So Larry's gonna take over, but
So basically, what I want to touch on is how to change some of your profile settings on the system and how to view information that you want to share from your bio to other members. So to do that, there's a couple ways you can do it by clicking on this image in your profile and just cursor over that and press enter. It basically brings you to members bio setting screen. And the reason why this particular screen is important is that under general info, you have this drop down, and this dictates what information you choose to share. So it can be anything from all information that you have defined in your bio to don't even list me in the directory. So I think there was a question in the chat regarding sharing addresses. If you decide that's something you don't want to share, click one of these other options like no address or no address and work info or no address and work info and phone. Or, you can also select no contact information, but I'd suggest not selecting any of the lower three, because if you select any of those, no one will basically be able to contact you. So I prefer the no address option with work info or phone. So basically I'm sharing my email address, my phone number, and city and state and bio, and that's it.
I didn't see how you got into this. You had a little drop down up in the right corner. How did you get that to open?
Okay, so if you hover over your name in the upper right-hand corner, you have to be logged in. I'm sorry. So, once you're logged in, your name appears in the upper right-hand corner, and just cursor over your name and you get the drop down that shows an image with your name. It might be easier if everybody who wants to actually sign in right now and follow along with me so you can see exactly what I'm doing.
I'm logged in and following what you're doing.
Okay. So I don't know who asked that question, but can you see the drop-down menu now?
Mhm.
And then how I got to the other screen. I just clicked on the image, and that brought me to the member bio settings.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions about that? Or is that clear?
Actually, a quick one.
And you can add,
When we saw the map of when Larry did his house, now would the no address then not show the map, I assume?
If you don't list your address but still provide city and zip, the system will basically locate you in the center of that area without a specific location tied to your address. So you'll still be on the map unless you choose, don't include me in the directory or don't include any contact information.
and Larry, we can change this anytime we choose.
Yep.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
When I hover over my name, I don't see the messages line. Does that mean that it will only come up if I get a message? And I don't have notifications either. Or is that browser specific, maybe?
No, it shouldn't be browser specific. I'll have to look into that for you. If you don't see it, I'm not sure if it's because you haven't received any message or not. I kind of doubt it. But who's asking the question?
Sam Lemur.
Let me make a note of that, Sam.
Okay.
I'm seeing the same, Fred Stanky is seeing the same behavior.
Have either of you sent messages or received messages that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of.
I have not.
But if I had one, it would say message, there'd be a click or a 1 or a 2 or whatever, how many messages.
Okay, well, Sam, I'll look into that and I'll get back to you.
Sure. It would be cool if messages would email us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find out that as well. Okay, so back to where I was. Like I said, this is probably the most important setting in your bio that you want to choose. So again, try not to choose. I'd suggest not choosing any of the lower three, but any of the ones above are fine. So on your bio page, you also have the option to add a photo and add a banner if you want. It's all optional. Then you also have the ability to add a social media link if you have a social media presence, just include the URL in these boxes, and they'll appear with your contact information on your membership card. And the membership card that I'm referring to is the one that appears in the membership directory. Lastly, there's your biography, and this is basically a free form area for you to include whatever you want. I chose to include information about my systems, and I kind of like it here because that way, whenever anybody clicks on my information, they automatically can see the system that I have, rather than searching around for something in member systems. So that's just an option that's available. Let's see. The other way to set some other important information is by actually selecting profiles or profile. And this is a more comprehensive way of specifying some of the same information, but it's a little more difficult to get to. On these cards, they can be used to enter different kinds of information, like your basic member information, name, address, zip, all that. Your standard member directory, that's what's included in your bio. So this is essentially the same as what I showed you before. The other options are options that I really don't use too much. So the ones that I feel are important are down in forums and your website functions. So Larry briefly mentioned interests. If you click on interests here, this gives you the option to opt in or out of a particular interest area. So I opted out of the vinyl section, but I am participating in streaming and CD high-res files. So again, Larry showed you the photo albums. This is how you would input a photo album if you decide you want to. I'm going to create a help article about how to create a photo album. Actually, I think I already did create a help article on creating your own photo album. So again, this is an option that's available to any member. If you want to create your own photo album, you can do that using this screen. And if you have more questions about this, you can send us an email to contacts, and I'll follow up and show you where you need to go to get more information on how to create a photo album. We kind of talked about blogs already, and Larry mentioned direct messaging. This is a feature that's been around since last year, but because it's buried in here, no one has really used it much. But now that it's available in this drop down, I think more people may be inclined to give it a shot. So like Larry said, you can create a message just by clicking create a message, but this is the kind of information that is shown in a particular string if you start a chat with somebody. I need to find out whether or not you receive notifications, but your entire chat is recorded here.
So Larry, I just tried to follow your path and it came up with an error. You must install the app in order to use direct messaging.
Okay.
And do you have an idea of what app it's talking about?
I don't, but I'll try to find out.
I got the same error message.
Okay. Yeah, let me look into that, and I can send out a broadcast to everybody on this call about what that application may be. So again, to create a message, all you do is click on create a message, and then you select the individual you want to send a message to. Let's see. Let's try. I don't know if should be here. Okay, yeah, so Leslie's here. I want to create a message. I just click on that, click select, and then I can start a message. But that's really all there is to it. And once you start a message thread, then it's very similar to just text messaging. You just send messages back and forth. And the good thing about this is it's easy to directly connect to anyone who is a member. Prior to having direct messaging available, the only way that you can connect with other members is if you go through the directory search feature. So this is another good way of connecting with other members. So the other important setting is within forum general preferences. And the setting is all the way down towards the bottom under identification. The one option is called link to bio. If you don't have this checked, I would check this now, because what that will allow you to do is share your bio information through the forums just by clicking on the image associated with your forum post. In my case, I'm sharing a picture, so you can click on either the picture or you can click on the name that appears below the picture, and that will bring up your bio information.
Can you go over how to get to the screen again, please? I'm sorry, I got a
Sure.
little.
Okay, so I was in my member profile, and again, you get to that by
Gotcha, I'm there.
okay, and then under forums, click on general preferences,
Okay,
and once you're there, you scroll all the way down to the bottom under identification, and link to bio is here. Okay.
display a link to my.
Yeah, so the one other option on this page that's important to know about is this. Check this box to apply these identification options to all my forums. So by clicking this one box, if you post to any of the forums that we have, this will apply to all of the forums. So anybody looking at a post in any one of our forums can click on your image or name, and they'll get your bio information. Okay. So
I got an error message.
what's the error?
Handle must be unique within your club.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get that. What was it?
Handle must be unique within your club.
Oh, okay, apparently you have a duplicate. That should be easy enough to fix if you go onto your profile and just change your handle. So,
A forum handle.
yeah, your form handle. I think you can get to it from, I think, your forum general preferences too. Yeah, down here in identification.
Yeah, I just changed that.
Right.
And it looks like I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so forum memberships is good because it applies to all of the individual forms that you want to receive notices on. You can select which ones you want to receive notices and which ones you don't. I'm basically signed up for all the forms, and I receive email notifications anytime new posts are entered into those forms. So that's kind of nice.
So Larry, back on the identification, and check this box to apply these identification options.
Mhm.
I checked it and I saved it and exited the page and came back, and now it's not checked.
Right, that's the normal behavior. It's kind of confusing, but
Okay, so once you've checked it,
yeah,
it doesn't tell you that you've checked it, but
right,
okay, it does it from that moment on.
correct.
Thank you. Sorry.
No problem.
How do you subscribe to the forums? Do you get email?
Okay, so when I get to the forum topic, I'll show you how to do that.
Okay.
Trying to think, is there anything else I want to show on this page? No, I think that's it. Okay, so thread subscriptions allows you to subscribe to individual threads within a forum. I don't subscribe to any particular thread. I subscribe to the forum itself. So, once you subscribe to the forum, you'll get notifications for any of the threads that are within that forum. So I don't really use this option very much.
Could
Okay.
you go into that option to show us what it looks like?
Oh.
And so now, are you, so why, it looks like there's no place to enter anything.
No, because I haven't subscribed. I have to go to the forums
Ah.
first to subscribe to particular thread.
Okay, and okay, no, once you subscribe to a forum, then
No.
there will be a pull down of the threads in that or something.
If you go to the forums, you can click on the forums and it'll show the individual threads, and you can subscribe to an individual thread once you're in the forums. And if you do, then it'll show up here.
Thanks.
Let's see. So that pretty much covers that. Okay, so I just want to briefly show you how I'm doing on time. Oh gosh. The difference between what's publicly available and what's members only. So I've just logged off, and if you look at community and forums, you'll see a message. You have to log in to post to the message. In other words, you have to be a member and sign in as a member to see some of the forums. These are the only ones that appear for the public. So if you log in, before I do that, I just want to show you. Okay, so this is what you see as a non-member. So here, for this first entry for Larry, you see his image, you see his name, but nothing is clickable. Generally, what happens once you set that option about linking my bio, this becomes clickable. But from the public side, it's still not available. So you don't expose any of your bio information by clicking that link. But let me try to.
We would have to be signed in then, right?
You have to be signed in, yeah. In
A
fact,
member signed in, yes.
yeah, let me sign in and show you.
Larry,
Mm-hmm.
does that remember me on this computer save both your sign in and your password, or just your sign in?
It saves both for me.
Yeah, I think it'll save
So,
both.
so we
If-
wouldn't really want to have that clicked in, I suppose.
If you want it to save it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Okay, so again, when we were on the public side, Larry's image was not clickable or his name. So now when I cursor over Larry's name and I click it, it brings up his bio. So that's an easy way to find an individual's contact information as long as they have that particular option set in their form preferences.
So Larry, is there a timeout where the system logs you out if you haven't done anything for a while?
Yes, there
What
is.
is that time?
I
What is
don't
the timeout?
remember. I don't remember exactly what the time is. Yeah.
It's not terribly long. It's maybe 20 or 30 minutes and it logs you out.
Gee,
So,
that picture spoke.
right. So, okay, the reason why I wanted to show you that is because the information that you post on these forums generally um, is public information because some of these forums are public. Remember, because when we went to buy and sell local, this is basically open to the public. So the thing that is important to know about that is it's not a good idea to share any personal information like phone numbers or email addresses in your posts that are public. Right. So I've seen some posts where individuals have some personal information. Okay, so here's one that has a phone number listed. Even though this is in our member forum, it's still publicly viewable.
Okay, so
I,
this is a little bit confusing. So what's a complete list of what's public?
what's public is what you see if you don't sign on. So in other words, if I were to sign off and look at the forums, these are the forums that are public. Right. So if you have any posts in these particular forums,
So
that,
if I'm logged in, though, there's no way of telling what is and isn't.
no. Oh, actually, no, there
So
is.
that means I have to log out
No,
to
no,
figure
no,
out.
no, that's not true.
Okay,
If you're logged in, you will see it. Let me
I mean, so it'll be marked as public or private?
let me log back in. Right here. See, it's
Public,
public,
thank
public,
you.
public. Yeah,
Very nice.
Oh yeah, great.
Cool.
members only. So you'll know whether or not those posts are going to be shared publicly or not.
It doesn't look like that on my screen.
Okay, so you know what? That
I'm
may
I'm
be
This
true.
is,
No, that may be true.
that's probably an admin.
Yeah, it's an admin function. Hold on. Let me try to log in again.
So I think also like the buy and sell locally, the public can view, but they can't
Post,
post.
right.
Participate, huh?
Yeah, but the point is, you don't want to expose any personal
So no,
information.
I agree with him that that doesn't show up on my system. And so it's very awkward.
Mhm. Right. But then again,
So,
What?
okay, so here's a suggestion. Can you go through and rename all of the forums and the ones that are public, put in parentheses, public after it in the name? So then that will appear on everybody's screen to say that it's public.
we could, but I don't think we will, because as I said, it's best not to post any information, public information. I mean,
Well, so the problem is we
personal
don't know what's
information.
public or not.
Yeah, because you don't know, you shouldn't,
So basically, we
any-
should never post information.
you should never post personal information on a public forum. And that's pretty much standard
Well, no,
practice.
so I think that what you've said is we should never post personal information on forums.
On a public forum.
No, because we don't know what's public and private in general unless we go for a search.
Okay,
So the rule has to be you don't post personal information on forums, end of it. Full stop.
that's works for me.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Okay, so that was the one warning that I wanted people to be aware of, is that, it's not a good idea to.
Thank you for that warning. So
Mhm.
that's critical.
Okay, so. Okay, so one thing I want to do now is cover a little bit about the search feature. Larry talked about it a little bit. He mentioned that, it's not a good idea to have trailing blanks. I just wanted to show you what the difference will be. Okay, so if I put a trailing blank, I come up with 3 entries.
But it came up with Lawrence, even though you typed Larry, is that correct?
That's correct, because what it does is what you enter in the search field is not text case sensitive, and it'll search for that string anywhere in your bio.
Hmm.
So
Oh, so if he's got something that lists him as signs off with Larry, that would pick that up too.
correct.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if I remove the trailing blank and hit search, I get a few more entries. So just to show you, why Larry was picked up is because they put Larry in the name.
So anytime you use your name, it's going to hold it and be picked up.
If you have your name defined that way in your bio, then yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so let me see. Okay, so if you just go to the search page and not hit any search criteria or enter any search
Okay,
criteria,
sorry, I had to go.
then it will show you all of the members who've elected to be included in our membership directory. And remember, that was based on the selection criteria from your bio page. So for now, there's 256 members who wanted to participate as having entries in our membership directory. And that's information that's kind of interesting, but it's not very helpful if you want to connect with anybody. So what might be helpful is if you kind of narrow it down. So rather than searching for everybody anywhere, you can select something by what they call as metro area. And these are defined in the system however we want to define these metro areas. Currently, we're going through a process of redefining all of the metro areas to make it more applicable to the specific locations of our members. So, there's a Southern Oregon group of people, and it will pick up those individuals. But we want to have something that's a little more that can be used nationwide. So we're going to include a lot more metro areas to help narrow down the search. So again, if you don't enter any search criteria, it shows you everything. And for me, this was not really useful.
Are all those members paid members?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The only thing that shows up here are active and paid members. So this is interesting but not helpful. What kind of is a little more interesting is if you use interests, right? So like I said, I was participating in the digital streaming group. So if I click on that, I bring it down to 156 members, which is better, but it's still kind of high.
Larry, he
Mhm.
said, are they paid members? So you have to be a paid member before you can get into this database then, right?
Yes. Let's see, where was I? Okay, so I
Well, I got to run, guys, so I'll talk to you next week or Friday.
okay.
But that's very good, and thank you very much for your info, fellas.
Okay, so you're welcome. Again, this narrows it down to 156 members, which is better, but it's not all that great. But the one way to search that I like is by specifying a zip code. To do that, you need to specify country first, and then enter your zip code, and then specify a distance that you want to search. If I want to find someone close to me, I'll just use 10 miles or 5 miles and click search. So that brings it down to 31 members, which is, a lot more reasonable. So, this list of members is members in your general area who have exactly the same interests. And now that you have this information, you can reach out to all these individuals to see if they're interested in getting together. So this is, a good way of connecting with individuals that are close to you.
Can we connect with other clubs through this?
We don't have other clubs officially connecting to us, but other club members can join as a regular member. Eventually, we will want to create additional, clubs in other states or what have you. I mean, Leslie wants to go national, so at some point in time, we'll be expanding to allow other clubs to join our club.
And how about clubs within the state, though?
It doesn't matter if it's within the state or it's out of state. I mean, we
Those are
have-
other clubs and not our club. Until they would join with us, they would not be accessible or to do with our website.
Mhm.
No. But is there a way to have, how do I want to put it? Some kind of a connection about other clubs in here.
Yes, there
Yes,
is.
there's a way to add chapters to our website, so other clubs could be a chapter. We are meeting with probably, I don't know how many, a dozen clubs at Axpona next week. And we're gonna talk to them in general terms about coordinating our resources and so more to come on that. But yeah,
Okay.
we're definitely looking at that.
Okay.
That's definitely a future thing. We're not ready to actually expand nationwide yet, so
Correct.
it's not going to be that soon, but it's definitely on the roadmap for the future. Okay, so I pretty much done. I just wanted to make sure that people are familiar with at least a few takeaways from what I've covered so far. I mean, I want you to understand that it's important to set some options within your bio that allow you to either share or not share information with other members. You also have the option of specifying other preferences for forums under your general preferences. And that will enable you to share your bio within a forum, which is pretty helpful. And lastly, I want to stress people should not be posting personal information like phone numbers and email addresses within any of the forums, just as a best practice. So
That
that's
might be something we want to send an email out about, because somebody actually has posted their phone number in one of the ads, and they should be aware of that, I think.
right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's pretty much it for me, Larry, unless you have anything else. Actually, did anybody have any questions about what I've covered so far?
Well, I was looking at everything that I do, it tells me I'm not a member, but when I look at payment history, it shows that I paid last September, which should be good for next September.
And who is this?
Doug Durham.
Doug, I can look into that for you and see what's going on right after the call.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, Larry, that's all I had. Did you have any other topics you wanted to cover?
No, I don't think so. Just encourage folks to, go through this, check this out, look at your profiles and look at your bio and update things. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Or if you have suggestions or something's not working, yeah, let us know and we'll get it worked on. The website is we just launched this over the weekend on Sunday, and so there are still a few things we're sussing out and fixing, but generally I think it should be in good shape. So appreciate
Looks like
everybody.
a good start anyway.
Yeah, no, Larry G and John Damani put in a lot of hours on this, and so it's yeah, definitely looking better, and I think will be a little more intuitive and easier to use. So
Thank you both, Larrys.
you
Yes.
bet.
Thank you
Okay.
much.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
Definitely.
thanks a lot.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great week. Cheers.
Great job, guys.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.